More nice deep breaths, inhale and exhale. And then from here, gently unwind, release that leg. Once again, inhale up and exhale and fold forward. And as we come into a similar posture several times, you might feel a little release, little sense of resistance moving away. And if you do feel that, feel free to go a little deeper. If you feel a lot of tension and resistance, feel free to back out. Once again, nice deep breath, inhale, head up, and let's bring ourselves up. And then this time we're going to take the right leg, or left leg, sorry, cross it over to the right. And again, just use that arm to help bring yourself to a nice tall position. Pull that leg in towards your chest. Inhale that left arm up, and exhale and twist and reach back behind you. Just trying to reach over that shoulder, behind that shoulder. Take a gaze, look back. Take that twist and that rotation from that torso. And always continue to breathe. And then once again, gently unwind, release that arm, bring ourselves to center. And again, it's that right hand, either the big toe or the arch of the foot. Just go ahead and extend that leg. So as you extend that leg, take that hamstring nice and long, inhale that left arm up, exhale, and take that reach and that twist back behind you. And keep breathing. I'm doing the other side. I think I'm looking the same way. I might have gone the wrong way. So I just realized I'm looking the same way. And it's just, there you go. So if you are doing the same side, sorry, please switch. Keep breathing. Inhale, exhale. And then once again, gently unwind, release, and inhale up and exhale and just fold forward. And once again, nice deep breath, tight core, head up. Bring ourselves all the way up. We're going to come up onto our hands and our knees, and for your orientation at home, any way that video, or if you want to turn to the side, I will flip around, so don't feel like you have to flip with me, but just so you guys can see what's going on. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Take a look at those hands. The fingers are spread wide. Take a look at those knees and those feet. You shouldn't be able to see the feet behind you, so the feet should be resting behind the knees, a little bit hidden. And then round that back as we make our way into cat. Draw that belly button in towards your spine, chin in towards your chest. Take that back, round it, draw those shoulder blades apart. And as we make our way into cat, release that curve on that spine, take it the opposite direction, lift that tailbone up behind you and squeeze those shoulder blades together as you take your gaze slightly forward and slightly up. And then round and reverse that back in cat through cow a couple times just to get that back stretched, a little bit of movement in that spine as you articulate each vertebrae one after the other at your own pace. One more time each way. And then I'd like you to come to a neutral spine, whatever a flat back is for you. And since you do have your video, if you want to look at yourself to see that flat back, but if you have a natural curve in your spine, don't try to make that back go flat, but just to that place that you feel like would be neutral. And then if you want to take a look, check it out, feel free. All the time though, keeping that belly nice and tight to help support that spine. As we come into a little bit of a spinal balance, we're going to take the right leg back behind you, right out in line with that hip, and then take the left arm out in front. So opposite arm, opposite leg, making sure you have some room to get that reach, and looking down just somewhere in front of that hand or slightly towards the end of your mat. So find that nice quiet place where you can just find some balance. Now, if you're having a hard time balancing on that opposite hand and leg, you can try just the leg first. You can also try just the arm. Continue to breathe. And then as we warm up that belly a little bit, we're going to bring that elbow towards that knee and that head with us. And then we're just going to extend that arm and that leg. So bringing that elbow towards that knee and extend. Just warming up that belly, that back, all of that core, that buttocks. One more time, and then we're going to come back to that long reach. And then if you can, you're going to reach back, grab that ankle to the palm of the hand, and then take that heel and push it away from that body. This would also be a time if you did have some sort of a prop, a tool to help you, like a tie or a towel, where you could just wrap it around, lift up, and pull that leg in with you. So options here. I would though say if you're putting a towel around you, I wouldn't put it on that ankle or that leg, I'd put it on that foot. But if you can, reach and grab. Other option, if you don't have a prop, is just to bend that knee and hold. Take one more nice deep breath, and then extend that arm, extend that leg, and breathe. And then from here, we're going to bring that hand and that knee down. We're going to come down onto the forearms momentarily for a couple cat-cows here, elbows underneath the shoulders, and just round and reverse that back. Inhale and exhale as you do at your own pace. And then once again, back to that neutral spine, coming back up onto those hands and those knees, and now going with that left leg behind you and that right arm out in front. So again, if you're really challenged to be balanced here, start by just lifting that leg, lift the arm as needed. If you also too are in a space where you have props and you can hold on to something, that also can help. So just do what works for you, what works for your body. And then once again, that elbow towards that knee, knee to the elbow, bring that head along with that spine, and then extend and reach. Continue with that motion a couple more times. And then extend long and hold. Find that balance again before you reach back. Grab that ankle if you can, ankle into the palm of the hand, push that heel away from the body. So we're not just trying to bring that heel in towards the buttocks, we're trying to lift the knee in line with the hip and then push that leg away, kind of into a 90-degree angle, or 45. Hold here. Continue to breathe, try and lift, push that heel away, open up the shoulder at the same time with that reach back. And then let's extend that arm and that leg nice and long, reach long and hold. One more breath. And then this time, bring that knee down, hand down, sit back into child's pose. Extend those arms, forehead down on the ground, and just reach long and stretch. Trying to sit back onto those heels, extend those arms nice and long. One more nice deep breath. And then from here, go ahead and just lift that head up, curl your toes, lift your hips, and make your way into your downward facing dog. So pushing back into that down dog, push those heels away from that chest away from the arms. Now, down dog, if it becomes a little too intense for you, easy option, instead of a down dog, is to come to a child's pose, which we've been there already. But if you can get the heels down, great. If not, just go where that flexibility will allow. Push back into those heels and just hold. And then looking towards those hands, we're just gonna walk those feet up to the hands, come to a standing forward fold, where that head, that chest, and that body are coming towards those legs. Legs are long and lengthened without locking up those knees. Back is long as we bring that body towards that chest and that body towards those legs. And then from here too, if it feels good, you can shift that weight, you can bend one knee and then the other. Get a little more life into those legs. Just a little walk without going anywhere. Seems to be a lot of our lives these days. Doing something without going anywhere. All right. And then nice long lift between both legs. And then let's inhale to a flat back. So I want you to take that back flat from the hips to the shoulders, to the head, just looking out over the ends of the feet towards the end of your mat. Nice long spine. Push those hamstrings back behind you. And then exhale, release back into that forward fold as you inhale, arms out to the side, head up, chest up, as we make reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. And then from here, bring those hands together and coming up onto our feet. All right, so we were doing a variation of our dancer when we were down in our spinal balance. But again, if you need help with balance, find something you could hold on to. There are a few modifications and options, but if you need balance, just feel free to hold on to something. But anyways, right ankle, just gonna grab a hold of that right ankle. First, and just start here by pulling that heel in towards your buttocks. So just find your stability first. Stand up nice and tall. When you're ready, I want you to inhale and bring that arm up. So you can stay here. If you can, make that movement and take yourself forward and reaching again, coming into dancer. As you come forward, you want to get that leg out behind you as we did on our knee into that 45-degree angle. A little tilt forward as we reach long in front of us. So again, if you need to, you can go back to your knee and do this. You can also hold on to something to help balance. And if you can't bring yourself forward, if that's too unstabilizing, just stand up nice and tall. Take it a little bit at a time. A little lean, little lean, little lean. Just depends on what works for your body. One more breath. And then let's bring ourselves back to center. Release that arm. As you release that leg, cross that right leg over the left. So crossing those legs one over the other. Make sure you've got a good stable base with both feet flat on the floor. Right leg's gonna be slightly in front of that left as we're gonna fold forward. Inhale up and exhale, folding forward. So coming into a forward fold, right leg is crossed over the left. And we're just lengthening those legs here to get a stretch through the outside of the left leg. It's a little IT band stretch. Just bring it in as best as possible. This too is a place where if you can't get yourself all the way to the ground, hold those hands down for stability. If you own any blocks, if you don't own blocks, you can use books. You can use anything that might give you a little bit of stability to help yourself. And then from here, let's inhale to that flat back. So take that gaze slightly forward, nice long line through that head in front of you, long legs. And then exhale, release. Inhale, we're gonna come all the way up to standing. Nice flat back, chest up, arms out to the side as we make our way all the way up to standing. Bring those arms up and bring them back. And go ahead and release. Take it out, shake it out. If you need to, you can take that left leg onto the toes, give those hips a little shake, whatever you need to do. All right, as we make our way to the other side. All right, so when you're ready, ground that weight, this time on the right leg. When you're ready, just start by bending. You can go slowly. If you need help with balance, hold on to something. Find that place, a focal point, something that's not moving can help. Get yourself balanced. When you're ready, you can lift that arm. And again, if you need help with balance, just come to something you can hold on to. And then as you can, keeping that chest lifted, as we tip slightly forward, and bring that leg back behind us. And again, it's not just that lean forward and that heel coming in towards the buttocks. And try and lift that leg away, reach long and tall, and just breathe. So again, this is dancer. So imagine yourself a graceful ballerina, or not. Taking a couple more nice deep breaths. One side might work easier than the other. And then as we release, again, we're gonna release and cross that leg over. So again, nice stable base, both feet firmly on the ground as we inhale up and exhale and fold forward. So taking a couple nice deep breaths, inhale, exhale. Take that stretch all the way through the outside of that right leg. Lengthening both legs, draw that head, the chest, and the body in towards those legs. And then once again, inhale to that flat back, gazing out over those feet, just slightly forward, taking a nice long back. And then as we release, back into that fold, coming up to standing, inhale, nice flat back, arms out, head up, chest leads all the way up. We come and bringing the hands back down and around. And then when you're ready, uncross those legs, give it a wiggle, give it a shake, whatever you need to do. And then next up, as we make our way back down to our mat, make sure if you want to orient yourself, and if you don't have a mat, it's totally perfectly fine to do this on the carpeting. Carpeting works just as well. Actually, right now, I'm sweaty, my feet are sticky. I'd rather probably be on my carpet. I might lose the mat in a minute. But anyways, nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. There's no perfect way to do this. Just the fact that we're doing this is just the feat in itself. And then from here, place those hands down, walk or jump into a nice strong plank. So as we come into our plank, I want you to have those hands underneath those shoulders. I want you to have those legs long behind you, about hip distance and about shoulder width apart. Fingers spread nice and wide, and pull that belly in towards your spine. Now, a modification for our plank could be a knee plank. If you need to go to your knees, you can always do that, feel free. You can still really engage that core even if we're on our knees. And then from here, we're going to slowly lower down. We're going to chaturanga, but before we do though, use the toes to push the shoulders slightly in front of the wrist to protect the wrist. Slowly lower down, bend those elbows. We're going into a try push-up. And then we're going to lift ourselves into our up dog. We're going to lift all the way through the belly, elongate those arms, and take your gaze forward or up, and feeling that belly stretch. You can come onto the top sides and the tops of the feet, and then we're going to curl your toes, lift your hips, and make your way to your downward facing dog. And again, down dog modification could be a child's pose if down dog doesn't work for you. If you have wrist issues, you can always rest in a down dog. Also, too, if you do have wrist issues in a down dog, you can do a down dog with arms. So that's also another option. So just take a couple breaths, inhale, exhale. Wherever you are, breathe, be comfortable, be happy with where you are. And then from here, we're going to lift that right leg up behind us, nice and high into your down dog splits. So just lift that right leg up, nice and high, nice and long goes that leg. And we're going to bend that knee. We're going to bring it underneath the body through. It's in between our hands as we make our way up into a high lunge. So we're going to peel that body off that leg, lift ourselves up, and reach those arms nice and long. So as we come into a high lunge, you can modify your high lunge by coming down to your back knee if you need that for stability. Most important thing in a lunge is not how far apart those legs are, but when you bend that knee, where that knee is placed in relation to that ankle. You want that knee either right over the ankle, can be slightly behind, but you don't want to be pushing that knee out over that ankle. So find that place that resonates and works for you. Reach the arms long and come here and hold. Again, if this doesn't work for you, come to your knee. Give it a couple more breaths. Bend a little deeper if you can. And then as we make our way to warrior two, let's go ahead and drop that back foot, open the hips, open the arms, and bend into that front knee. And as we come here, open those arms, squeeze between the shoulder blades. And once again, as you bend into that front knee, take a look at yourself, either in your video, or if you can't see yourself in your video, where are those toes? You should still be able to see those toes without having to go look for them. But if you do have the benefit of video or even a mirror close to you, you guys look fantastic. Just making sure nobody's chatting me. Hi, those who have joined us. Aunt Sherry's here. Hi, Aunt Sherry. She finally came. All right. So just holding your warrior, stay nice and strong. One more nice deep breath. And then from here, we're going to just move a little bit in our warrior. I just want you guys to straighten that leg, Bend the arms and the knee just a couple times. A little bit of movement. 2 ways to stretch. We can dynamically move and we can statically hold. Both have benefits. One more time and come back into your warrior. Just hold it here and see if you feel a little more comfortable. Maybe after holding for so long, you're not feeling comfortable at all. Just depends on what that might be. One more nice deep breath. And then from here, we're going to take that right toe. It doesn't matter if you're facing the back of your room. If you can, just try and follow me, but if you want to flip around, feel free. So we've got both toes pointed the same directions. Arms are nice and long. Now with a nice flat back, we're going to fold forward. So in a wide-legged forward fold, now we've got those toes pointed forward. We've got our head in between those legs. We're pulling those inner thighs up and making them nice and long. And all the while, we're continuing to breathe. And if you're not so comfortable, you can bring the legs a little closer. If you need to wiggle the legs out, feel free to go wherever is good for you and your flexibility. And then from here, we're just going to walk those hands over to the right leg. So walking our bodies over to the right leg. If you can, grab onto the right leg, pull yourself in. If not, you can just take the hands slightly over. If you can, if not, if that's too much, you can always stay centered. But if you can, just walk yourself over. Again, those inner thighs are nice and long, pulling up through those inner thighs. Holding it here, breathing. And then from here, we're going to release those hands and then walk over to the left. And also, too, if you're having a hard time with right, left, etc., and you're thinking too much about it, just do one side because we always repeat everything on the other side. So just be cognizant of your body and what you're doing. And then walking those hands back underneath that body. And then as you inhale to a flat back. So coming here, keep those hands on the ground. We're just looking out in front of those hands. Nice flat back, still a nice wide stance. Just bringing that head up halfway. Just for a moment to allow a little bit of blood flow, but also just a little bit of a different stretch. You might feel that experience a little bit differently in those legs. And then as we exhale, release down. And then from here, we're going to take the hands to the hips. We're going to inhale, we're going to come back to that flat back, and then we're going to make our way all the way up to standing. So now making our way into our star pose, we're just going to take those hands out because we keep our posture right here and just spread those fingers nice and wide and just let all that energy come throughout that body all the way from your toes to your fingers. Just stand tall, stand proud. Maybe even smile a little bit. It's Friday. Anyone going anywhere exciting this weekend? Oh, we wish. All righty. And then just taking those hands down, and then we're going to pivot back towards that right foot and that right leg. We're going to take those hands down. We're going to go back to our down dog splits where we began. Send that leg back behind you. And now if you're capable, I'd like you to bring that knee underneath that body. So coming down into a plank, knee underneath. And if this is too intense, you can just go and hold the down dog. If you can, bring that knee under, come to a plank, come and hold. You can even put that knee down and pull that belly in if you need support. And then extend that leg back. And then once again, underneath. So just a couple times here, a little bit more work for that belly, that core, extend that leg, bring that knee underneath, extend, underneath. One more time. And then we're going to angle forward to a one-legged plank. So come into a one-legged plank, nice strong leg. And then from here, we're going to slowly lower ourselves down, chaturanga, lifting to our up dog. And this time for a moment, we're going to sit back into a child's pose. So bring those feet together, knees about hip distance apart. Going to give you a quick rest as you take that forehead down, reach those arms long in your child's pose. Take a couple breaths right here. And when you're finished with your child's pose and you're ready to make your way back into a down dog, go ahead and lift the head, take the hands down, curl your toes, and make your way back into your downward facing dog. If you're still resting and you're good here, just stay here. Just stay here until we move. So down dog, child's pose, your choice. A little of both, whatever works. And then when you're ready, lift that left leg up behind you, nice and high, just wherever it would go. Lift and lift. And then you're going to bend that knee forward, Bring that leg forward. Again, in between your hands as we make our way into our high lunge. So then from here, we'll lift ourselves up to that high lunge. Remember, option for your high lunge would be just go to your knee. That's perfectly fine. Do what works for you. Come and hold. Take a couple more breaths right here. Inhale, exhale. And as we make our way into warrior two, again, drop onto the inside of the back foot, keeping that right toe forward, open up the arms, open up the hips, and bend into that front knee. So again, lots of variations here. If you are not as stable, keep the legs a little closer together and don't bend the knee as much. So there's really lots of ways to make this work for you. Because remember, this is what it's about. It's about you guys listening to your bodies, working with your bodies, and enjoying our time together. And then as we did before on the other side, just a little bit of movement as you just bend, straighten that leg and bend that leg. So at your own pace. And then once we come back into that warrior two, again, just hold it, settle in and see, are we feeling a little bit more comfortable, feeling a little bit stronger, feeling a little more tired? What is that body feeling right now? One more nice deep breath. And then we're gonna bring that left toe forward with our arms long with a nice flat back. We're just gonna, again, fold forward. So as we come into that wide-legged forward fold, this time, take one hand out to each leg and try and walk the hands out either to the outside of the feet, the legs, and then just pull yourself in a little bit closer. So coming, hold it here, take a couple breaths. Holding just a few more breaths. All right, then from here, take those hands, release them, walk them underneath the body. Inhale to that flat back. So bring that flat back, just gazing out, just somewhere out in front of those hands. Always be mindful of that neck is part of your spine. Remember, your spine starts in your bottom and goes all the way through your head. So you do want to mostly keep that spine a nice long line versus taking that head up. And you can look for a second, but you wouldn't want to keep the head looking the entire time because that puts a lot of stress on that neck. And then from here, release back down, hands to your hips. Inhale, nice flat back, head up, chest up as we make our way up to standing and into our start pose. And again, start pose, pretty simple. Just keep those legs nice and long, extend those hands, spread those fingers nice and wide, and just take a moment. Take a few deep breaths, inhale and exhale. One more nice deep breath. And then from here, just gonna take ourselves down. And then as we rotate back now to the left, because we started with that left leg, we're gonna take those hands down. We're gonna send that left leg back down to be a bit back behind us into our down dog splits. And then get yourself positioned here as we bring that knee underneath. And again, if you can, bring the knee underneath in that plank and just come and hold. Pull that belly nice and tight. Continue to hold, continue to breathe. And then extend that leg up. And then bring that knee underneath and hold. And if you can, if not, you can always just come to a knee plank and hold, and then bring that leg back up behind you. So this is a perfectly good option to get that core engaged. And then one more time, bring that knee underneath and hold. And then extend that leg back up. Come forward to a one-legged plank. And here again, you can be in a knee plank. Extend that leg. And then when you're ready, slowly chaturanga, lower down, lift up to your up dog. And then curl your toes to your down dog. In just a moment in our down dog, when you're ready to come out of your down dog, you can come to your knees into your child's pose. But if you want to hold your down dog a little longer, feel free. If not, when you're ready, sit back onto those heels. Sit back and extend those arms nice and long. And then in our down dog, scoop those arms in a little bit so you can just release the wrists and circle the wrists one direction. And then circle those wrists the other way. Give them a little release. And then just enjoy sitting back onto those heels for a moment. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale. And then we're gonna bring the hands right beside your head and very, very slowly lift yourself up. Don't come up too fast because you want a little bit of blood flow to that head. Very slowly, we're gonna bring ourselves all the way up to seated. You can cross those legs behind you, sit back, or just sit back because we're gonna make our way onto our backs. So as we make our way onto our back, coming into our final moments of relaxation in Shavasana in just a moment, make sure you have some room around you. If you would like to grab a towel to cover your eyes or something to cover your face once we get there. But first, let's just start with a nice slow roll. Go ahead and extend those arms, lift through that chest. But before we roll back, just try and lean back a little bit. Try and find a little bit more work for that core. Pull that belly in nice and tight. Lift that chest. Take that spine nice and long. And then from here, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, go ahead and release and roll yourself down. And then once we're down, take those hands out over your head. We can release that belly as we point those toes and stretch the entire length of the body. Reach long. And then from here, we're gonna bring those hands down by our side, one leg at a time, one knee, then the other. Nice loose hold on those shins as we circle those knees one direction. So just a little loose hold, knees are bent, circle circles. And then circling the other direction. And then rocking it outside to side, just a little back release. And whenever you're ready, we will make our way into our final moments of relaxation. Extend those arms, extend those legs. Traditional is corpse pose with the arms extended by the side palms up, legs extended and relaxed. But feel free to relax and release and be comfortable however you wish. Just coming here, taking a few moments. Close the eyes, letting that body relax, letting that mind relax. And if you must have any thoughts run into your mind, just bring yourself back to your intention for your practice. And just continue to breathe. And whenever you're ready, bring a little bit of thought back into that mind to move those fingers, those toes, maybe even those hands and those feet, arms, legs, or even that head can go side to side from where you are. And whenever you're ready, rolling over onto the side of your choice. Anyone who's pregnant should go to their left, everybody else choose side. And just remain here for a moment, again, letting some blood flow return back to that heart and that body and that head. Love recognizes no barriers. And again, that quote is love recognizes no barriers. And that's from Maya Angelou. When you're ready, use that outside arm, push yourself back up to your seated position, back where we began. And with that quote about love, just continue to love those that surround us, even if they might be driving us a little bit crazy. Continue to love yourself and take care of yourself during this time. And I appreciate you guys all coming to practice yoga with me today. I appreciate you all. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Namaste. Thanks, guys, and I'll unmute you if anybody else wants to say hi. Last week I didn't have it so I could speak to you, but I will be able to unmute you all, I think. There we go, unmute. Hey, now everybody is unmuted. So if anybody has anything to say.
Hi, Katie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Katie,
Hi.
Thank you, Katie.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, guys. Still working on trying to figure out how Zoom operates and everything. I tried the music.
To figure out how to get you full screen so that I could see what you were doing.
I think if you see my video, try double tapping on it.
Oh, is it that easy now?
Did it work?
No, but you got bigger, but you're not all the way full screen.
Well, there's a way to get to your full screen.
Yeah, and it tells me at the bottom, I just don't have my glasses on me and they're downstairs, so.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Lavana, is that you?
Hi, Katie. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining me.
It generates 650.
Thank you, Katie. Good class.
Oh, you're welcome, Sherry. Hi, Aunt Sherry. Yes, Aunt Sherry made it. Did Aunt
Wait a
Ellen make
minute.
it?
Wait a minute. Let me get on.
We need to see you.
I know
hear
because I'm not dressed.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to reveal myself as soon as I can reveal myself.
Oh, that's
All
funny.
right. That's
Because we're also people
All
starting.
right, you ready? Okay, girls.
Hi. Hi, Aunt Sherry. This is Aunt Sherry. You look fabulous.
Yeah, I'm in my granny nightgown. I haven't gotten dressed yet. So.
Yoga, I love it.
I
And that's my
tried.
sister,
I'm
Mandy.
going to do it again, you know. I get a little dizzy putting my head down in some of the stuff, so I can't do that, but other stuff I can do. Oh. I loved it. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for coming.
I'll be back.
Yeah, that's,
Thank you,
yeah, that's
Katie.
my,
I don't know if I'll have to put makeup on next time.
no, don't worry. No. Everyone, that's it. And that's my Aunt Sherry. And my sister Mandy's out there somewhere. I hear her.
Oh, I
Yes,
see.
I am.
There she is. There she is. Hi, Mandy.
Katie, what's the relation to Julie?
Well,
Sisters.
no,
Oh, Sherry?
Jason's my nephew.
Okay, so that doesn't help me.
No, so
She's
Katie's
my husband is
niece.
her nephew.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she's
Yeah.
she's my Aunt Sherry by marriage. And then my
Gotcha,
sister
gotcha,
Mandy
gotcha.
and I are sisters with Julie.
Yeah.
Okay, because Julie's my neighbor
Yeah.
and good friend.
Okay. Well, this is great.
Yeah.
Well,
And her fashion book is fabulous. Just saying.
all right, I'm going to go because I think
Okay,
I'm going
thank
to